What's up everyone, it's Blue here at Blue Bears Games, and today's video will be my upgrade guide for the Universes Beyond Fallout Hail Caesar Commander Precon. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to ask for your help in supporting my channel, which can be done in the following ways. Subscribing to the channel, sharing any of my content on your socials, watching some of my many other videos, purchasing super thanks, purchasing channel memberships, purchasing decks that you may have seen on this channel directly from me on the Blue Bears Games Facebook page, and/or visiting our sponsor at arcane-fortress.com and using discount code BlueBear at checkout if you decide to purchase any of their amazing gaming supplies from them. Anything that you do will help support my channel immensely, and I thank you for it. Now that that is out of the way, let's get to today's video. For my guides, I start by showing you the cards that I would recommend removing first, and then I show you the cards that I would add back in that I believe will help make the deck either more fun to play a little better, or best case scenario, both. At the end of the unboxing video for this precon, I had mentioned that I was going to pick a sub-theme to go along with the token-making main theme, and to me, the most obvious choice was Aristocrats. On top of that, I also wanted to do something a little different for some of the token making, so I decided to also add some cards from a previous Universes Beyond set that had Squad, and combine that with a couple of ways to create infinite mana. Together, each squad creature with just a generic additional mana cost can also create infinite creature tokens, and I thought it would be a neat little thing that would help differentiate this build from most of the other builds with similar themes. It was just something fun that I wanted to try, and I think you're going to like it, so let's begin, and I'll start by showing you what I would take out first. I would remove Temple of Malice, Temple of Silence, Temple of Triumph, Eddie Lonesome Eyebot, Boomer Scrapper, Mr. House President and CEO, Desdemona Freedom's Edge, Mysterious Stranger, Yes Man Personal Securitron, Keeper of the Accord, Captain of the Watch, Secure the Waste, Martial Coup, Heroic Reinforcements, Wild Wasteland, Battle of Hoover Dam, Vault 11 Voter's Dilemma, Fervent Charge, and Survivor's Medkit. Since I'm trying to add not only a sub-theme, but also an additional and unique way to create tokens, I ended up removing a whopping 19 cards in total. In my opinion, all the cards that I just recommended removing were all just subpar compared to what I'm going to recommend adding back in, and I'm really excited to show you what cards they are, so let's just jump right in. I'll start by showing you the one land that I feel is a must-have for this new direction, Fountain Port. Comes into play untapped? Check. Can be a sacrifice outlet? Check. Repeatable card draw? Check. Can create tokens? Check and check. I really like this land, and I need to get my hands on a few copies for my own personal collection. Next, I want to show you 8 creatures that will help shape how this new iteration of Caesar will run. The first 3 that I'm going to show you I alluded to earlier. They are Space Marine Devastator, Ultramarines Honor Guard, and Zephyrim. These all have the squad ability that I mentioned earlier, and when combined with the squad ability creatures that came in the box, it gives you 9 total. Sadly, some of them have squad costs that can't give you infinite tokens, but hopefully we will continue to get new ones in the future. The remaining creatures that I'm about to show you will reinforce an Aristocrats theme, which should help give you a much needed alternative win con that fits with tokens very well. The first 3 are Zulaport Cutthroat, Ellis Ilcor Sadistic Pilgrim, and Cruel Celebrant. These are your stereotypical aristocrat pieces that drain and gain life when a creature dies and are pivotal to the strategy. The next creature I'll show you is Corpse Knight. It doesn't help you gain life, but with all of the tokens that you should be creating, it damn sure will be draining some life. And the last creature that I would add is Mirkwood Bats. It's not exactly an aristocrat piece per se, but it's pretty close, especially if you're doing it with a heavy token theme. The cool thing about the bats is that they drain your opponents when tokens are both coming and going. The lone sorcery that I would add is Crisis in Conscience. More than likely, you're going to choose the second option for obvious reasons. As for the enchantments, there are 3 that I believe you should add back in. The first is Impact Tremors. With a lot of tokens being created, this should dole out a pretty decent amount of damage over the course of a game. The same can be said for Funeral Room. As for the Awakening Hall half of this card, it could come in handy later game, but luckily it's attached to Funeral Room or it wouldn't even be here. And the last enchantment that I would add back in is Phyrexian Arena. Card draw is king in Magic, so this is just a no-brainer. The Aristocrat pieces should easily offset any life loss that this hits you for. And the last two cards that I'll show you before going over the two combos I mentioned earlier are artifacts. The first artifact is Ravenous Amulet. Aristocrat-themed decks need multiple sack outlets, and I thought this one was kinda neat. You get to draw a card for sacking a creature, or you get to draw a bunch of cards for sacking the amulet after accruing a lot of counters. It's a win-win, but I wouldn't sack the amulet unless you're either going to win because of it, or someone else is going to win and you're throwing a Hail Mary. The other artifact is Horn of Gondor. I removed the one-time spells that create tokens, so I could add in a repeatable way to do it. Also, I'm not sure if you noticed, but most of the creatures in this deck are humans, so this could end up creating a lot of creature tokens each time you activate it. Now we come to the combo section for this guide. I've mentioned that there are two, and the reason for this is because while they accomplish the same thing, they do so in very different ways. The simpler of the two combos to assemble is Basalt Monolith combined with Rings of Brighthearth. These two cards combined can create infinite colorless mana, and how it works is explained in the link that just appeared at the top of your screen. The reason I went with this combo is for when you cast a squad creature like Ultramarine's Honor Guard. This combination of cards will give you as many copies of the Ultramarines as you want, and with this creature in particular, it will guarantee that you have the biggest creatures on the board. The other combo uses Reassembling Skeleton, Pitiless Plunderer, which came in the box, and Ashnod's Altar. This is another infinite mana combo, and how it works is explained in the new link that just appeared at the top of your screen. The reason that I wanted to add this is because I wanted a combo that produced infinite mana using a sack outlet for the Aristocrat strategy. You see, I'm a big proponent of having multiple ways to win, and this with Aristocrat pieces is a pretty satisfying one compared to something like the Blood Bond combo. So there you have it, folks, my upgrade guide for the Universes Beyond Fallout Hail Caesar Commander Precon. While everything that I just showed you won't make this Precon a top tier deck, it will make this the most fun of the 4 Fallout decks by far. Token themes are arguably one of the most fun ways to play Commander, and this Precon did not disappoint for that. At the time of filming, the total cost for all 19 upgrades would be roughly $40, which isn't bad at all when you consider the cost of some Aristocrat pieces and token doublers that White has access to. Anointed Procession. Would it be worth it to put some serious money into this Precon? I'm going to give it a hard maybe, which is better than what I said for the other 3 Fallout decks. Are there better options for a token-making Aristocrat-themed Commander? Absolutely. But if you just have to have a Fallout deck, this seems like a mighty fine choice. So, what do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts on the changes that I just recommended in the comments. Well, my friends, that's all I've got for you this week. Thanks for watching, and if you're looking for more Magic content to watch, please browse through my channel, as I'm sure you'll find more of my videos that you'll enjoy. Before you head off though, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, so you can be notified when I release new content, which I do every Friday. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next week.